Thank you very much, and a warm round of applause for Pascal, please. Okay, so thank you everybody. I'm Pascal Kaufmann. I'm a software engineer and the co-founder of Unchained, and I'm going to talk about how we built freezyboy.com. It's a project of me and Vedran. How did it all start? So we get that mission briefing, and it said like, can you please build our new website? We need shopping, CMS, you know, all the stuff, you know, and it must be like perfectly nice. And I asked them like, what is perfectly nice? And they said, yeah, no, like apple.com, you know, when you go on the page, like it's the landing pages, then there's some content, and the shop is like all blended in together, you know, it's like kind of a fluid experience. So, yeah, okay. And then he said like, yeah, we are a startup, we don't have a lot of money to spend, so kind of, okay, that's fine. And we want to automate delivery and logistics, but don't have an ERP system in place yet. So it was really like the case that where we were there, and to say like, you can build something from the ground up, integrate any system we want, and consult him on the way to build his digital representation of his business. So with that left behind, we just said like, okay, what can we do now? How can we build that as an agency? And so that's about architecture. And we mainly said there's kind of different approaches, right? So one approach is like the CMS bound way. So you use like WordPress, Drupal, or any other CMS around, and then just put some extensions and plugins in and try to get, you know, the shop part into it, like really like. But usually it doesn't look like it should look, because there are always the kind of constraints because of different technologies, because of plugins you have to adopt, or maybe don't work, or they don't work the way you want, and you need to create some customization and maybe change some code and stuff like that. So basically what you do is you take a CMS and then you just convert it to the final website, right? And the same thing that actually is true for when you just shop bound. So if you use kind of Magento or anything like it, it's a monolithic framework, and you build the landing page inside it, right? So when you develop it, you kind of you just put the stuff in that is missing, and in the end you're there with a monolith that is customized and has some plugins and extensions. And then there's one more approach, the headless approach, where you say like we use the different services like as services, so they just provide APIs, and we build our website project completely with our own technology stack, like what we prefer as developers, customer experience engineers, and so we have that nice split of concerns, right? So we said, that's really cool, we want to do this headless. So we created our bucket list, and we said, okay, what do we have to do now? So the first thing is actually we have to make sure for ourselves what web framework we want to use to build actually the website project. Because that is maybe some technical requirements that is maybe mixing in, but a lot of taste too. Everybody is using different programming languages to build their web projects, and that's cool. And the second thing is find the right CMS solution that provides kind of a headless way to use it, so it's easy to integrate it. And the same for the shop, and then actually build the thing. So our evaluation for us was like, okay, let's use for the front-end part, we use Next.js. It's a very cool framework, pretty new. We want to try it. This is the perfect project to try it out, so we want Next. And for CMS, we had a look around. We tried to first use some SaaS software. Usually, the CMS, the headless CMS you find, you kind of localize stuff. So it's actually, because it's really US bound, it's really hard to do now localization and different formatting when it comes to international stuff. And for the shop, actually we were like at the corner of using Magento because it provides headless APIs, but we were not so confident with it because we knew that Magento is not built for being headless, so that when you use plugins, all the plugins need to expose their own APIs, and so usually the plugins are not possible to use, but our customer had the requirements of special discount models and these business-to-business login with special pricing and stuff like that. And that actually was the reason why we couldn't use Shopify or something else. So after consuming like 1,000 coffees, then we just said let's build it our own. So we built a shop, a headless shop. Then this is the microservice architecture we went. So you can see here on the right side that we have the Next.js web project. Where of course Next.js is React, and we use Apollo GraphQL client, and so the whole conversation with the backend services is through GraphQL. And you can see that we built a small little proxy on the right side, Apollo GraphQL server that just consumes stuff from the cockpit with REST, converts it to GraphQL, and provides it to our website. The same thing is true for our shop, just takes the GraphQL and then just formats it. I am going to show you why we have this little block up there, right? And when you look at the left side, you see our shop. It's built with MongoDB and Node.js, and we have some systems integrated for this project. One is Small Invoice. They provide invoicing and PDF generation, and it's pretty cool for Swiss-based companies because you have the SRB and stuff like this created on the invoices. Then we use Google Spreadsheets for delivery estimation, so to show a user how long does it take until the product is arriving at his location. And of course you use Stripe, PayPal and other payment providers for the payment stuff. And we use some strange automated emails that go out to the warehouse guys that provide them the information to send you the package, right? And that's basically it. Why do we do this? Because this is real separation of concerns. We can replace the CMS at any time. We can replace the shop engine at any time, and we can replace the website at any time. So this is something like kind of evolutionary. I can even add more web applications and stuff in the future, or I can add new clients like a mobile app or TV or whatever watch application for your whatever business, and it lets the developer choose their own utilities. So, data. As I said, Unchained has GraphQL. So when you look at the small screenshot, you can see on the left side the GraphQL query and the result it provides you. It's just giving you some translated slug title and subtitle and the ID of the product. With this query. When you look at Cockpit, Cockpit has REST. So, yeah, it's not pre-printed, but the thing is, it's REST, it's not GraphQL, it's another way of providing data, it's just standard. They have the proprietary REST interface, and that's fine. But, do we really need to connect two different backends with the web application? We don't want to do this. we want to merge this on the backend level. So what we did actually here is we used the GraphQL schema stitching, and that works in a way that first you use the Next.js custom server feature to build a small GraphQL proxy at /API. Then you kind of duplicate the schema of what is in Cockpit. So this is for our in the website from freezyboy.com. You find the Studio Finder, where you can find companies that sell you the product kind of at a special place. So these are locations, and that's the schema of actually that. And then the second thing what you do is you connect the resolvers of Cockpit with you connect the resolvers of the proxy of this schema to the Cockpit API. So you have a GraphQL wrapping around the Cockpit REST API. And then third one is actually stitching. There is a new feature in Apollo where you can stitch schemas together. So first we have the local schema, and then we have the remote schema, which is the one from the shop. And then you see at the bottom we use the magic merge schemas function, which just merges everything together. Okay, and what we have now is we have one endpoint which is able to provide data from different endpoints in one router. Pretty cool. So you can see the products, you can see some shop infos and the locations. And locations, they are coming from the CMS, while as the product and the shop info is coming from the shops. Doesn't matter for the UI. So one round trip from client to server to rule them all, consolidated, always up-to-date documentation. So because now it's all GraphQL, I have kind of the overall documentation of what is possible with my microservices in my architecture, my environment. So what's missing is the user interface, which is Next.js by type, what we used here. And why do we use Next.js? Because it is React opinionated and we like React. It's folder-based routing and code splitting, so you don't need to add some special router library. It just like is on the folder. It's done for you and it does code splitting, so that's pretty cool. You don't get that really huge 10 megabyte SPAs. You have server-side rendering and static HTML exports right out of the without doing anything. It's growing in popularity, and I really, if you don't know it, then you really should check it out. And then we have these React Apollo connected components. I think we don't have how many times do we have? Like 2 minutes. So we don't have time to go into the details of the code, but it's actually just one file. This is the component here. It's the checkout. It's one file that is the GraphQL query that gets the data, and that's basically it. And it's kind of a widget you could use in GraphQL. So please stop wasting your time with JS build tools. When you always do like configurations, this is not needed. Use Meteor or Next or NPX. Just get rid of that. And you might not need Redux at all. When you use GraphQL for everything, sometimes it's really the thing that's the only global state you have to have, and you can use with React context or even inside React components. You don't really need Redux at all. We don't need Redux. Apollo client handles caching, storization, and reactivity for you. So it's actually you don't need to take care of getting data and store it and kind of some commits and dispatches and everything. It's just done for you, and you can trust it, and you can use it in every component, and you can use a lot of queries, and it's just magically handled. So and that brings me actually to the end. That's how we built a Headless Shop for this project. And yeah, we built the shop technology, and the last thing is build your next shop with our headless technology. If you like what you saw and you have some case like this, then just get in contact, and we will open source our engine later this year. So yeah. Thank you very much.
Nice. Alright, that was an interesting ride. Yeah, don't waste your time on JS Build Tools. That's probably a really good advice. I forgot two things to mention when I introduced the meetup. One is our talks are 15 minutes only, and that has a good reason. The reason is that we have many people from many different backgrounds, and we want to quickly exchange ideas. So 5 minutes is a little too short, but I think 15 minutes is a good balance. And as you just showed, there was a lot of stuff in this presentation. Thank you so much. And we don't do Q&A in the classical conference setting or meetup setting. If you want to talk